It's interesting. I was nervous. I thought I was right, but, thinking you're right and being right are sometimes two different things.
And there's some things that we had to give up to get where we are today.
Sorry. We can't film in here?
No, sorry.
Okay. Well, we were just doing a documentary.
This is policy. They brought a whole bunch of suits up from Toronto to sell the town on it. We went to the meetings. It was just a joke.
It has its place, and I don't believe its place is in small towns. Quite frankly, it kills small towns.
Huntsville, Ontario, my home. This small town of 20,000 is located 2 hours north of Canada's largest city. Its character exists within the people, its beautiful scenery, nearby lakes, and its cottages. Tourists come to enjoy their summer homes and partake in a simpler, rural life. Before moving away for university, I lived in the same house here my whole life. This is my town. Huntsville has always prided itself on its small town feel, but over the past couple years, the winds of change have begun to blow through.
Part of Walmart's business is something called everyday low prices, which is well known through our advertising, and if you walk into our store, certainly you'll see it around. Idea behind everyday low pricing is we don't have gimmicks, we don't have sales, we don't take rebates or rely on coupons. What we do is we offer merchandise at the lowest price possible.
Do you shop at Walmart in the area yourself?
I do.
Just convenience factor?
Convenience.
Cheaper?
One-stop shop.
You know what the brands are, you want the lowest price, and the bigger box format stores provide those.
I think in any community that you go into, you're going to hear both sides of the coin. I think there's the cliche that we'll say one thing, they'll say another, and the truth lies somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between. Well, Huntsville's only mall would probably be on the other side of the coin.
As far as the traffic in the mall is concerned, we find it's down, quite a bit.
In the mall, it's, there's a lot at stake here. So the mall waged quite a strong campaign, overtly and covertly, to present that image that there was a lot of dissension in the community, a lot of angst about this kind of development coming in.
Yeah, I was under the assumption that it was the downtown who was causing all the problems. Okay.
No, it wasn't, in fact, and that's where the record, needs to be looked at.
When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown when you've got worries all the
When any retailer hears that a Walmart's coming to town, obviously everybody gets afraid that they're going to go out of business because Walmart's coming, the biggest retailer in the world, and everybody panics, of course.
There's no competition with Walmart because they are completely unique shops, and there's nothing that they sell that Walmart sells, and vice versa.
We basically have dropped everything that conflicts with both Walmart and us.
Huntsville, regardless of all the new development, is thriving, and every one of those businesses or those buildings that were empty have been sold and have active business within them today.
How are you finding business here?
Very quiet, to the point where I'm closing my business
Really?
and trying to diversify to pay the rent.
Lots of change in traffic. There simply isn't the amount of people coming through town anymore.
We virtually had no objectors who didn't have some sort of a connection to the mall.
Well, geez, they've been voted the biggest sweatshop supporter for the last 7 years now. They're anti-union. I hate everything that Walmart stands for.
I don't know, it just takes away from the tranquility of the town. It just turns us into every other town in Ontario.
Do you see that happening already?
Oh yeah. I mean, Walmart started the whole thing, and you're going to see that cropping up everywhere if the town council doesn't stop it.
So who benefits then?
Big business. Not the people, certainly not the environment, because then you're going to have more waste, because if it's inexpensive and cheap and breaking, where's it going to go? It's going to go in the landfill.
So I haven't heard of anybody locally that really feels that they got cleaned out.
Since the wonderful big box store complex opened in January, my sales have been down 30% every month since they've opened. And it's not public knowledge right now, but it has affected me to the point where I'm actually going to be closing.
Competition is healthy because it gives the shoppers choice, and choice is important.
So there's only so many pieces of the pie, and therefore there isn't enough to come here or go there.
People are thankful to have Walmart here because their prices are so well with the material.
And what's going to happen is we're going to be an area, a community of like cheap dollar store type things, and there will be no quality left.
I don't think it's hurt the downtown at all. I think it's only enhanced it.
Do you shop there occasionally yourself?
Nope. The only time I ever tried to buy something, I had no success with trying to get help and was totally frustrated and left with not spending a penny. So
the biggest thing that they push with Walmart is the 3-meter rule, and you don't pass anybody without smiling.
Walmart can't be everything to everybody, and for some people it's not the experience they're looking for.
I believe in customer service, and unfortunately that's not what they believe in. So
the customer is always right. That's rule number 1, and the second rule is refer to rule number 1.
Okay. The Jonquière situation is that the Quebec Labour Board has automatically certified a union in our store.
Well, personally, when it comes to unions, I don't really know a lot about it. I don't understand a lot about it, so I don't ask a lot of questions.
And when it comes down to a union vote, that is an associate voice in their position. And to date, when the unions have had the opportunity to vote, they've said no to the unions.
There's a store in Quebec that the union got into, and I don't fully understand how that happened or why it happened, but it has. And from what I hear inside Walmart, it's not necessarily a good thing.
We feel that the business is based on communication.
When big development comes in, then you get more people, you get other people from maybe different cultures or different lifestyles, and along with that comes more stress and tension, and more robberies, more thefts, more everything. So
the pro Walmart and anti Walmart on the scale, fortunately the pro side is winning out time and again, and really quite emphatically.
I mean, I'm working full-time year-round, and I don't have to worry about going into work tomorrow morning and having the door locked and no one being there, because it's a solid company to work for, and it's going to be there tomorrow, the next day, and the day after. It doesn't matter who the competition is. They're big enough and strong enough that they're here to stay.
Mm-hmm. People will see us as competition, but there are definitely ways to compete, and there are definitely ways to surpass what we can offer a customer.
I remember the Huntsville that I grew up in, and it's changed. According to Walmart, they're going to be here tomorrow, the next day, and the day after. Every month, they're receiving record numbers of petitions for new Walmarts to open in other small towns. People want Walmart. They want the lowest prices possible. Most people have already heard the story of that local business who didn't figure out how to compete with Walmart in time, and most people still shop at Walmart. Perhaps we're so driven to save money that we've forgotten all about things like loyalty and value. Perhaps we have no one to blame but ourselves for this corporate epidemic. Perhaps not. The reality is that opening one of these stores in a small town is a gamble, and one that takes its future and rolls the dice. In Huntsville's case, the two big money rollers at the table are Len Clark and Claude Doughty.
The mall at the 11th hour decided that they would submit a large application for a major mall expansion at the same time.
The mall deserved to expand, not create another small town in Huntsville kind of for one man. It was, I call it Dowdyville.
The fact is, it's a global economy. You may own shares in Wal-Mart, I may own shares.
You know, it was Claude Dowdy who started the whole thing, and it's kind of his own little private little town in there.
We could have filled that and had a multiplex theater in it. Yeah. It would have been full right now. But they passed the bylaw.
Well, any conflict that would have been in a bylaw would have been made to fly away, whether it was Len Clark as mayor or Hugh McKenzie. They would have been made to fly away.
We were able to negotiate a settlement. We made quite a significant contribution to the BIA to facilitate that remedy. I mean, we gave them $250,000 as it was, but but the market is there. You know, it's going to survive. It's what it is. You know.
Yeah, you're going to find that this town, people that are in bed with each other are really, really tightly in bed with each other, without a doubt, and they're not going to say anything bad about anybody. Yeah. A lot of the businesses are too afraid of Clyde Dowdy, too afraid to say anything bad. Talk to people without a camera and ask how they're doing. You get a different story altogether.
We're following the bylaws and the wishes of the town fathers within the perimeter that they've laid out. Well, it wouldn't be full right now if the town fathers weren't so stupid. And I think that this development and Huntsville is proof that we not only are the fastest growing community in Muskoka, but this helps solidify that, and we're going to see further development happen.
Places we used to hunt and fish are now golf courses or housing developments, or in places you never thought you'd see houses.
We have now embraced a bit of a philosophy with, if you'll notice on the sign coming into Huntsville, sort of the theme is touch the past, embrace the future. And the future we see is the larger format Commerce Park, and we see that as a win-win for both.
Well, I mean, as we keep building and selling more, the thing you're going to find is that there's just more and more people coming. So I know some towns it's devastating.